Welcome into the Bro 4 Squad podcast. We're here to give you another world-famous movie commentary on Barbie. We're coming at you live from the future Bro 4 Squad headquarters, the Malibu Dream House. I'm sorry, guys. I fucked up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you gonna say Mojo Dojo Casa House?
Mojo Dojo. No, I gotta save that. I gotta keep the good stuff for the show.
Can you hear me? Because I muted my mic. I want to make sure it's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome into the Bro 4 Squad podcast. We're coming at you recorded from the future Bro 4 Squad headquarters, the Malibu Dream House. Here to give you another world-famous movie commentary on the 2023 instant classic, Barbie. Now, we have our movies paused with 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 47 seconds left in the movie. We're currently watching it on Max, and they don't give you a start time, only an end time. So 1 hour, 53 minutes, 47 seconds. Now, while you guys get in your convertibles and get matched up with us, let's go around the Mattel boardroom and meet the other Kens. As always, I'm your host, Ken Banner. Now, to my right, we have the mayor himself, Ken Hornacek. Now, Ken, if you were going to war with the other Kens, what would be your weapon of choice?
Carbs.
That's a good one.
A bunch of like bread baskets, like muffins. I know Cycling would be popping muffins like fucking
Man.
So,
but imagine like a 3-day-old breadstick though. Like that's an actual weapon.
Wow.
Carbs is fighting dirty, but I got to do whatever I can do to get to the top of beach.
Respect.
Right. And to his left, we have our legal counsel himself, Ken Cycling. Now, Ken, do you even lawyer?
Dude, that's like the only thing I do is lawyer.
That's it.
And then when he's not
so
lawyering, he lawyers.
Yeah. Like I lawyer here where I'm standing all the time.
Just lawyer up. All right.
He also loiters.
Well, yeah, I get in trouble for that one.
What's the difference?
A couple letters, that's it.
No one wants you around either way, so it's
Hi-oh!
Hey! All right, we got our movies paused at the 1 hour, 53 minute, 47. Max, we got to fix this shit, okay? It's a lot easier to say 10 seconds in than how much time is left. 1 hour, 53 minutes, 47 seconds left in the movie. Warner Brothers with the pink logo is fully up on the screen. We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Let's beach.
I'm gonna beach so hard.
Beat you off.
God.
I can wait till we do this.
Guys, Horns and I had the 2023 review, and I think you can't think about the entire year without thinking of this film.
No. It also was a perfect storm with Oppenheimer, so that definitely helps. But even without that, this was, to me, a surprise film of the year. I did not think it was going to be this good.
No, and we'll get into the Barbenheimer thing a lot because, number one, basically lightning in a bottle. And I think Hollywood realized, even if they pretended like it was tongue-in-cheek to try and do it again with some other movies afterwards, you can't, like, these viral things are going to happen, and you really can't force them. And this was one that I don't even think, like, the creatives involved with the movies would have thought would have worked the way it did. But Cycling, you actually did the double bill, right?
I did,
theaters?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you do Oppenheimer first, which I think was kind of the recommended way to do it, right?
Yeah, like we actually, at first I thought we were gonna go do Barbie first. I was thinking, let's go get brunch, drink some mimosas, get a little fun and dandy, and get to see Barbie, and then have a nice dinner, and then get sophisticated and go see Oppenheimer. And we ended up doing the opposite. A friend she was like, let's do it the other way, and she was absolutely right, because Oppenheimer is kind of a bummer for obvious reasons. We ended on a high by finishing with Barbie. Definitely recommend. And fantastic opening, by the way.
These porcelain dolls are fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
I know, Cycling, you've got a thing for porcelain dolls.
If by thing you mean a massive fear, then yes.
Right.
Right. Can you cover up your collection behind you next time we podcast? It's fucking weird.
That'd be so creepy. This is
also,
great
why do you always
guys.
Why do you always match their outfits to whatever you're wearing?
It's the mood. We're all.
I think
going
this
out.
like we'll get into this a lot, but like the reason this movie works is I think you can view it from a couple different lenses. If you just view it as a completely meta take and like a commentary, which again, give props to Mattel for like licensing their IP to basically be like parodied or looked at in a lens where it's like, yeah, you have caused a lot of problems in the world. You can look at it in a meta take. I think you can honestly go into it as just like a straight up comedy and laugh your ass off. And then if you want to look at it as like kind of a smarter movie with some things to say about like gender roles, and I actually don't think like the idea that it shits on men. I think there's a lot of this that like is really kind of feeling sympathetic for men and like how we're like we always have to be fucking like I'm not Ryan Gosling. I'm better looking than him, obviously, but like that's
obviously, yeah.
We have those same like archetypes that we're supposed to live up to.
Yeah, by the way, that opening was an homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I think is fantastic. It's a great like set the tone for the film. Obviously shows it's not going to take itself too seriously. But yeah, no, Horns, I agree. Like honestly, I was actually surprised with dude, half the movie is about the Kens. You know, like it's not just about Barbie. I think a lot of people are like, this is literally equally about Ken as it is about Barbie.
This is Ken's story being told from Barbie's point of view.
Ken doesn't feel heard until he gets to the real world, you know? This movie, I don't have a lot of information on this. I'm trying to look through my Horns fun facts on IMDb, but I do know that there was a much different take of this that was in pre-production that Amy Schumer was attached to for about 2 years. Gross. And then when she withdrew, Greta Gerwig picked up the project and it evolved into what it is now. But I'm assuming Amy Schumer's was also going to be a very like meta and like self-referential take on it, but obviously you can't do with her what you did with
Was she going to be Barbie or was she directing?
She was. She was going to be Barbie, and she was going to write it.
That doesn't work. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, it does, but it would, you know, like they would be going for something completely. It'd almost be like the anti-Barbie. Like the whole movie would basically be like Kate McKinnon's character in a way. I feel like
that's what I would have to think. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, this set is fantastic. Like I love what they did with this.
Yeah.
My sisters had a dream house. I never played with it, guys, but it was exactly like this.
Yeah, and my daughter has one, and I've never played with it.
Yeah, of course not. Why would you? There was also Jeff. Did you? There was in the between. The Gal Gadot was also supposedly either off of the roll. They were going to start with her too, and then that one didn't work out. And then I'm like, how is Margot Robbie your third choice?
For anything,
but especially if you're playing Barbie.
Right. Helen Mirren narrating it is great. Dan Levy, the Michael Cera character, he had to drop out for some reason, and he said it's like the biggest regret of his life. He said he almost didn't want to see the movie because he knew it was going to be great, and he was going to be so pissed he couldn't do it.
At the same time, though, I don't think it would have been the same if he was Alan as opposed to Michael Cera.
Yeah, because there's a gag on Hollywood about how everyone hates Michael Cera. Like it's a joke. Like if you ever watch like interviews with him, they're always like just doing that to him. So like it's as one person to be tortured like that, it's perfect for Michael Cera.
Her first Horns fun fact, according to IMDb, Barbie is 23% larger than everything in Barbie Land to mimic the awkward disproportionate scale that real Barbies and Barbie activity sets are produced in. So I guess like the actual Barbie doll, Cycly, you would know this because you're obviously an expert on the fun house or the dream houses, is like technically basically like 25% too big for all the accessories you get, which is just fucking annoying. It feels like torturous to kids.
I also love that like this Midge thing. Like I love that these are actual real characters. Like I give credit to Mattel. You kind of already called this out. Like they were willing to be the butt of the joke in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of people when they give you RIP, like they're like, don't, you know, they're only doing it with such
they're breathing down your neck the whole time. Yeah.
Like Mattel is made fun of multiple times with these different characters at the boardroom, all those kind of things. Oh, yeah. So like I just appreciate
the movie doesn't work if Mattel isn't like just roast us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to my knowledge, I don't. Brian, you might know this. Are G.I. Joe and Transformers Mattel?
I think they're Hasbro.
Yeah, you're right. So this, to my knowledge, then this is the first like Mattel IP to be referenced in a movie. Is Battleship Hasbro also?
No, I think Battleship is Mattel.
Okay, well, if they were having creative control in that film, then they really fucked up.
Yeah.
Wait, you saw that?
I may be wrong on that. Unfortunately, I did see that. I don't know why we're surprised though.
After seeing your top 100 list, nothing surprises me.
Nothing should surprise you ever.
Let's see.
Barbie, based on Barbie. That's good stuff.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a Hot Wheels movie? They do Hot Wheels.
Not live action.
Not
Bob
like yeah.
Builder.
Really,
Barney
Bob the
and Friends.
Builder?
Yeah.
They have some good IP, man. If they want to do like a like funny Mattel universe, there's like lots out there they could do. Like I think a Bob the Builder movie in sort of the same vein as this would be pretty funny.
Especially for like our generation and maybe a little bit younger than us who grew up with Bob the Builder. They would eat that shit up.
I have a funny story about Gosling accepting the role of Ken. I'm going to try and find the other ones up for this, but according to Ryan Gosling, he accepted the role of Ken after seeing his daughter's Ken doll lying face down in the mud next to a squished lemon. He then took a photo of the doll and the lemon and sent it to Greta Gerwig saying, quote, "I shall be your Ken. His story must be told."
That's the thing. Like, they all take it just seriously enough, but they know, like, at the end of the day, I'm in a fucking Barbie movie. Like, it's not that serious.
But so is Alan an actual doll that they have? Sorry.
He was. He, if I'm not mistaken, was the father of the pregnant Barbie. And then they realized that was an extremely bad idea. And
what kid wants to play out that scenario?
Yeah.
Kingsley Ben-Adir showing like he just will take such disparate roles to challenge himself. He was in Secret Invasion as this came out, and now he's going to play Bob Marley in about a week or so. Well, he's not going to play him then, but that's when the movie comes out.
Is it alive?
Wow.
Yeah, live performance.
You know, when I was a kid, I literally thought every time I was seeing a movie that they were like doing that for me then at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of something being recorded and edited was not on my radar.
I remember once telling my sister. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Cycling and I still believe that if you record a sporting event and rewatch it, a different outcome might take place.
I still pray for that.
If that was only true.
Yeah. No, I remember watching Power Rangers as a kid and be like, they change so fast, like when they morph. And my sister's like, they stopped the camera, right? And I was like, no, they don't.
Why would she ruin that for you?
I know.
That's like almost as bad as ruining Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And this was last week, too.
What would you ruin about Santa Claus?
That's true.
Some people think he wears a blue robe instead of red.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
You sound insane.
It's not even a Christmas color. Come on, guys.
I love this. Is incredible again, just because of the set. Like, mimicking the actual toys is fantastic. This is so good.
She holds up the X-ray. There must have been days on set, especially like while they're in Barbie Land, where like when they yell cut. So, I mean, they know they're making good work, but someone had to be like, if this doesn't fucking connect with people, this is going to look absolutely ridiculous.
I just think this is one of those movies, though, like, you can tell the set had to have been so fun.
Oh, like, everybody is having a blast.
Yeah. Like, you can't, I feel like you can't have a bad day on the set.
Oh, no, you can't. Banner, Alexandra Shipp, is she your Storm or is Halle Berry?
I think Halle Berry, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably. Although I did like her casting.
I did too. I think it's just because
they gave her too much to do.
Yeah, I think it's also because X-Men and X2 are top 50 movies, if not top 25, maybe even top 10 movies for me. And so it's very hard to dethrone that character or that actress in that role.
Agreed. This song is such a banger. Like, I put this to my party playlist the second it came out.
Dude, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. We rewatched this, and the music in this is amazing, top to bottom. Yeah. I'm not a huge Lizzo fan, but I got to give props where props are due.
Fun. God.
Don't bring up Lizzo around Cycly.
Yeah, she did great in this.
There was a weekend my wife and I went to stay with him and his wife, and I think every third sentence, all Cycly would say is, "Hey, I got a question, guys. Why are men great till they gotta be great?"
It's a good question. I asked our Uber driver that.
God. It's funny to me. that Emma Mackey is in this because a lot of people say she's like bagged cereal Margot Robbie. Like every time you see her in something for like a few seconds, you're like, is that Margot Robbie?
Yeah. Well, there's like 4 girls who all have like what who's the other one? Not as famous as Margot Robbie. I'll look it up.
Who looks like her?
Yeah.
Sure.
Guys,
Tanner, do
I'm
you watch
telling you,
Sex Education? Or is
I
that
watched
Thurman?
the first couple seasons, but I kind of fell off. Thurman, I know, is a huge fan of it, though.
So are you an Emma Mackey fan? She was also in Death on the Nile.
I am. Yeah, I think she's great. They can steal the show in this entire movie for me.
Like this day of
love this
filming,
so
I would be
much.
like, this is why I became an actor. This is so fucking fun and ridiculous.
Like, this makes me want to try and be an actor. Like, we all know I can't be, but I want to be.
What?
Because
No,
of
you
this.
totally can.
Now, see, you kind of sounded sarcastic right there, but you think?
You think I would say that just to embarrass you?
I was thinking of Jamie Presley, by the way. Took me a second.
Yeah, Jamie Presley, like the previous generation's Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so great.
You guys ever think about dying?
So I don't know about you guys. So yeah, like you alluded to about earlier, like how I went and did the Barbenheimer. Guys, people in my theater seeing this one, it was such a fun theater, just like we're talking about how fun the set was. Yeah. Everyone was so into this. But the costumes that people were wearing, the amount of pink that everyone, like, it was just a joke that
it was
everyone
an event.
was in on.
Yeah.
It was an event.
Oh,
like
we bought.
Scene was so fun.
I got a Ken shirt. The wife has a Barbie shirt. We got Baby Banner a Barbie nightgown, and we all went and saw it. Now, we were in the very front row, which kind of sucked because we were basically looking straight up.
Yeah.
But that
Front
didn't.
row,
it was still such a fun theater experience. Like you said, everybody was just having the time of their life.
Yeah,
Probably
that to me is like, I know any time where like even with like big tentpole comic book movies sort of in a pretty serious decline, like is the theater experience in trouble? But when things like Barbie happen, I say no, they're not. And Mean Girls was kind of the same way when I went a couple weeks ago.
This is probably a top 10, maybe top 5 theater experience, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. When we went at the first showing at Oppenheimer, a guy was all like dappered out, like in one of those like 1940s style suits.
That's cool.
And then his girlfriend or wife, or whoever she was just like in this magnificent pink dress. Like, so like they were playing both sides. It was awesome.
That's
like,
amazing.
when was the last time I've seen something like this? This is like a Sunday afternoon, and like it was awesome.
The amount of pink sparkly boots in my theater, like, I don't know how many it was, but take the over.
I'm definitely not thinking about death anymore.
And then this version of the song, like you said about Lizzo, this is great too.
I just love how they do the like true to the toys, like there's no actual walls in the house, really.
Yeah.
And she gets down by like just gliding.
I like the shower where the no water comes out, but like she's clearly taking a like, oh my God, it feels so good to get clean right now.
I think she got a solid 8 hours.
I don't know the last time I had 8 hours.
Yeah, she probably got about a 7.5.
It's
so
like
cold.
Hook, kind of, with like the Lost Boys.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So this is a bad day for Barbie, but this is just like a regular Tuesday for a lot of us.
Yeah, this is a slow Tuesday. Now, how expired is the milk, though? That's the real question.
Yeah, that's the
is
other
it like
question.
A day,
Yeah. Like, does it still smell okay?
I was so dumb last week. I like poured myself a bowl of cereal, and I was like, "Oh, this is gross. The cereal must be bad." I threw out the cereal, and then I was like, "You fucking idiot! It was the milk."
cereal over the milk.
I was like so tired. I was like, "God damn it!"
What can happen to a cereal other than get stale?
I don't know. I guess like the spoonful that I had didn't have much milk in it, so I was like,
That's
maybe
funny.
It was crunch berries too.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
I know, it was brutal.
I had some crunch berries last night. Little midnight snack. It was awesome.
This is so great.
It's like, what are you looking at? They should have released, like, maybe they did, and I just didn't know, but like a whole line of these outfits that people can buy for the summer.
I think there was,
sure
but
they
also,
did.
Yeah, but they also are all outfits that Barbie has worn, I think.
Yeah, I'm 96% sure that every outfit featured on a Barbie in the movie is an actual costume that the toy has out there at some point in history. And what, 60, 80 years of Barbie?
Yeah, of history.
Yeah.
It's just that, it goes back to the set design. Like it's really as much of a silly movie this is. Like the amount of detail that went into it is great.
How many different takes was Greta Gerwig like? All right, dry heave a little bit less, and then we'll do one where we're really, really intense with it.
It's hard to undersell a dry heave. The Weird Barbie is a great, because I just love how they like. I mean, we growing up had our toys, made our own stories for our toys, did things to our toys, moved them around, cut hair, like drew on them, and I just love like they allude to this. Like it's so great. We all did this.
I remember I had a stuffed animal. It was a donkey and it had like long hair, and I remember I cut the hair, and as soon as I did, I was so upset because I realized it wouldn't grow back.
Yep.
And I immediately regretted cutting the hair.
I did that.
In fact, to this day I still regret it.
Yeah,
I think you told me it's the biggest regret of your life.
Yeah,
Claire has no other regrets.
Which probably speaks more to like you probably made some pretty good choices after.
It's a really good life he's had. Yeah, my sister still gets mad at me for the Nutcracker every Christmas. She's like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, I thought the hair was gonna grow back.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know?
The dog taking a dump.
Kids crave real, like when we got Tamagotchis, they weren't cool until they took a shit.
Tamagotchis, man, that takes me back.
She's so good at this.
What the fuck? That when you enter Banner's house, that's how he greets you.
That's actually very true.
I wish I was that like athletic and agile to this day.
Just imagine you're sliding into first base and you can do anything.
I actually had a doctor's appointment the other day, and it was like a physical or whatever, and he said, "All right, bend down and touch your toes." What? And I just goes,
Bro, was this fucking Olympics?
Yeah, I was like, I can't.
I've never had a doctor ask.
Okay, doctor, do 2 backflips. Beat LeBron James 1-on-1. Like, is this a physical
what was
or
he
like
trying to prove though?
I don't know. He just said he was like, all right, do this, do that. Like, I don't know.
Was he behind you? Was he making it sexual? Like, what?
Yeah, it was weird. He did tell me to also make sure I kept eye contact with him the whole time. I didn't
know that happened.
Yeah,
my doctor does that.
Yeah, I just I figure he's the doctor, he's the expert. Just do what he says.
My doctor also makes me sign an NDA before, which seems totally normal.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
that's like HIPAA laws.
I was like, wait a second, aren't we doing HIPAA here? What's the NDA for?
But dude, I couldn't touch my toes like in my physical prime, like in high school when I was playing sports.
No. I literally looked at him and I just said, no, I can't. And he goes, well, can you touch your knees? Maybe.
Well, yeah, my knees.
Yeah, because I can bring that difference up to my hand.
Sad and mushy and complicated.
Her math is like better than a lot of Americans could draw.
No, I think
how they get from Barbie Land to the real world is incredible as well.
Yeah. Also, why does Weird Barbie have assistants? I was always wondering, who are these other people who are helping her?
It's like a college internship program, I think.
You got to go deal with 3
credit
Barbie
hours.
It's unpaid though, which is unfortunate.
No.
Yeah. Not made of money. I think Spain is just like off in the Atlantic Ocean, looking at the map. It's like between Africa and Asia. It's weird because the Birkenstock's nice. Like casting Will Ferrell in this, and obviously hasn't shown up yet, but when I saw the trailer, like I love like, back in the heyday Will Ferrell, but he's been one of those guys that I feel like for like the last decade, everyone's like, yeah, we got too much of him, kind of keep him out of stuff. But I think he works pretty well in this.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll talk. I don't know if you guys. I think Jeff, you and I had talked about like the online theory that Will Ferrell is the same. He's the buddy from Elf, who stayed in the real world, and this is the job he got. If you actually think about it, it makes sense because like Buddy would want to work at a toy factory, and his eccentricness and everything like that really makes sense. So I was like, I really like that theory. It's like the Leonardo DiCaprio movies are all related.
Well, you love all those theories.
Oh yeah,
it's all one universe.
Not a Will Ferrell fan, guys. Never really have been.
Ever?
Not even need more cowbell.
He has roles and there are bits that I like, but as a whole, not a fan.
That's fair.
I've always had a soft.
And you guys know my stance on Elf. I fucking hate Elf.
I hate Elf too.
Yeah,
and now joining us on the pod is Will Ferrell.
Hey.
What the fuck, guys?
Big fan, man. Big fan.
That's what Stephen A. Smith would do. Will, we love your work. It's absolutely unprecedented. You're undaunted. You're unmitigated. What? Just saying words.
What does that even mean?
Don't make sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I always have a soft spot. Yeah, he can be much sometimes, but it's just like he's like your younger brother that you're like, guys, he's harmless. I've always. I mean,
I do think I got
movies
very
that like grow on me.
I was very much a victim of the Will Ferrell fatigue, where he was.
Oh yeah, we all got that.
And I just have never gotten over it.
I think Jeff and I were peaking the fatigue like when Step Brothers, but then we revisited a few years later and then found that we enjoyed it. It's like maybe it was just too much Will Ferrell at that time that we couldn't enjoy that. The
like absurd fake tan that Ryan Gosling has right now is amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. A Simu Liu fact. We just passed this scene, but according to IMDb, Simu Liu showed that he could do a backflip with a demonstration during dance rehearsals. Ryan Gosling's jealous reaction inspired Greta Gerwig to rivalize their Kens in the story.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
Good for her. That's great visual just to be like see things and like not be so married to a script. Like let the script come to you kind of thing.
Because Ken has a lot going on in this movie. Like and it's not too much to add the rivalry with Simu Liu's Ken, but it does make sense. Like that's part of the toxic masculinity part is like, yeah, we're bros, but at the same time, every minor thing we do can turn into a dick measuring contest.
See, and that's what I'm saying. I think this is a story about Ken told from Barbie's point of view.
Watch for cellulite. That's what my wife tells me every day when I leave for work.
What?
Watch for cellulite.
Oh. And do you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I love, again, the set here, how big she is compared to the car.
Yeah.
He has like her pajamas on. I'm coming with you. Oh, so Midge, this is crazy, is played by Emerald Fennell. She directed Saltburn.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's cool.
And Promising Young
different.
Woman. You guys have seen that.
And what? Say that again.
Have you seen Promising Young Woman?
Oh yeah, that movie.
Oof. Directed that too. Yeah.
Real World This Way. There's nobody better than Gosling for this role, right?
In terms of like the way he delivers it, absolutely. Like you can get a lot of guys.
I could see like Chris Pine doing this.
Yeah. But I think Ryan Gosling has enough, I don't know, like self-awareness that he can play the role. Like he was perfect for the role. I think there's a few others who could do it too, but I think just Ryan Gosling being like in on his own joke is the best part. So this was like the image, the first image we got from the movie, like them rollerblading down Venice Beach.
And having no fucking idea what it was, we're like, what? The guy slapping her ass is sadly like too realistic.
Yeah.
Guys, I would totally rock what Ken's wearing right now.
What's funny is, have you guys ever been to Venice Beach? Because I have. And I promise you that people dressed like this rollerblading would not get the attention that they're getting. No. Like you see everything.
This is a slow Tuesday at Venice Beach.
Yeah, this is like
it's like in New York City. Like no one has time to fucking worry about the weird, quote unquote, weird shit someone else is wearing.
The whole strip in this area of LA is like literally you're gonna see everything you can imaginable.
But I can't imagine like the weekend or like the week after this debuted, how many of these outfits you would see actually saw on Venice Beach.
100%.
And there's no undertone of violence.
Yeah, I love that.
A construction site, yeah. We need that good feminine energy.
Which appears to be double. I do not have a vagina, and he does not have a penis.
We don't have genitals.
That's okay. I like the guy. He's like, that's okay.
I have all the genitals. That's
again, that is not uncommon for Venice Beach.
No. Mm-hmm. All the genitals or no genitals, either way. Oh yeah, that's so fucked up. Yeah, why does she get arrested for this, by the way?
Yeah, you can't just not let someone sexually assault you.
Why are the cops even getting involved? They have nothing else to do in LA? Come on.
There's no gangs in LA.
Yeah.
This is giving me like serious Back to the Future 3 vibes.
Yeah. He's so happy.
The fingerprinting probably feels, warm and goo or cold and gooey on his hands.
The way he like tries to stand and look all the time is so.
Yeah, he's like, what's a way to look pensive?
He's like he hasn't. He's like, I just don't know what to do.
Anywhere? Can I go that way? That would be anywhere. Yeah, that's fine.
That would be like us in our relationships. Like, can I leave? Yeah. Don't go far. Fine.
I gotta say, like, the big thing that I think Greta Gerwig had to do with directing this is, and maybe she didn't even know on set, but it's like, how do you direct these actors where their characters are like fish out of water to the max, but they're also not like dumb?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it could very quickly turn into like that remake of the Three Stooges, where it's like, okay, what did you just like ate poop off the sidewalk? Like, what are we doing?
You have to be naive enough, but not unaware.
Right.
His like realization of men right here, like that light bulb moment. The way he plays this is amazing. Like this is great.
And again, that scene, like you're directing him, and he's not looking at anything.
Reagan, Clinton, horses.
Yeah, what the fuck is this montage at this office? And then just like a horse.
This is amazing.
The guy pinning his coworker in an arm wrestling match is the best. Like we're doing that during work hours. I think she's coming up. Banner. Is it Ariana Greenblatt who plays the daughter of America Ferrera in this? Who is in like literally everything. She was young Ahsoka. She was in 65, and she is young Gamora in Infinity War.
Yeah, she is red fucking hot right now.
Like buy the stock in her because she's Ariana Greenblatt. Yeah. She's gonna be like the next Jenna Ortega.
Except better, I think. I don't think she's gonna be as typecast as Jenna Ortega.
Maybe not.
Jenna Ortega is very much like slasher, horror, gothic. Like that's all she's ever done. Where I think she's got the potential to branch out and be more like a Zendaya, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Wow, making big claims here.
I also think she's prettier than Jenna Ortega, which will go a long way.
Nope,
I'm not trying to be mean. I've never found the Jenna Ortega. Like, she's an incredible actress, but maybe because she's so young, I just don't find her attractive. This is kind of intense.
That's the thing. Like, again, like you said at the top, like this movie can be a straight comedy, but there are some serious moments and good acting. Really, like this is not the same acting that you have at Barbie World or Barbie Land. And it all works very well.
Yeah. Her seeing that guy get dumped in the park. I think I brought this up before on pod. I have this weird like ability to, a lot of times in public, I see breakups happening.
Well, that's because you go to Fuddruckers, which is the national headquarters of breakups.
That's true. They've actually asked me to leave. They say you need to order something. I'm just here to watch people dump each other.
Just so everyone knows, that's a reference to Jeff and I would go to Fuddruckers because we knew someone was breaking up with someone, and we'd purposely go and watch it happen.
Also, they had good shakes.
No, they do have good shakes.
I love that, telling this woman she's beautiful. Like I love her reaction.
I know
it's so great. There is another thing. Like some movies do it so well. The amount of like honesty and the beauty, like they like just like the emotion involved, and something that's so silly. Like, I mean, later on we're gonna get it again. Like, there's times in this movie where you're like almost tearing up.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah. Men rule the world. She's at school. What did you say? Oh, I didn't say anything. I forgot they go to her school.
I love how the cubicles are nothing but walls.
And
like there's no way to get into the cubicle.
You have to be airlifted in, or like a claw machine.
Okay, but honestly, I only worked in a cubicle like a few months ever, or a few years ever in my career. But I would prefer just being walled in compared to like
100%
wall where like everyone can see you, but you feel like you have a space, but you're not private at all.
100%. I do work in a cubicle, and yes, if I could have a, even like, I don't even care, like there's no top and people can look over the top, just like some sort of door or barrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Would be extremely nice. I
want these guys peeking over like Wilson and Home Improvement.
Well, there's like, it's either at two extremes. It's like, I either want complete privacy or like those open concepts, like where everyone's sitting on a beanbag. I'm like, I just don't like the faux privacy. It's just like, it's the false sense of your own space. It just drives me crazy.
Now, America Ferrera, like one of her first things was Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, right?
Yeah. Which she hasn't once, and I liked. I actually find that like it didn't. I don't remember the movie at all. I just remember being like, it's actually not that bad.
Crippling shame, Barbie.
She hasn't really done a whole lot as of late. Has she?
No, I saw her in one other thing recently.
Yeah.
Drumsticks is so like good corporate douche minutia to add to this.
I love again that Mattel's willing to make fun of themselves, showing an all male boardroom
where the
female empowerment,
and the boardroom desk or the boardroom table is a heart.
Yeah. like honestly, props to Mattel. Like they could have easily just done this as a propaganda piece. They made fun of themselves.
I think at the end of the day, like Barbie, obviously over the course of 80 years or 60 years or however long Barbie's been around, they have taken enough shit where, like, you know what? We've already taken the brunt of it. We've taken the most heat. Doesn't matter. Like, we know who we are. We're not going to change. So let's just have fun with it.
Yep.
The message going around both sides of the table is hilarious.
Playing cell phone. Yep, I'm looking at her filmography. America Ferrera. Like, I didn't know she did a lot of voice acting.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. She was in Dumb Money, which I recently saw about the Reddit stock thing.
Oh yeah, with the AMC and GameStop.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
the GameStop stock through Reddit. There's a Warner Brothers Discovery.
Was it? I thought it was like Red Hood or
no Reddit.
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. That's what it was.
They did it on Robin Hood, but they all came up with this idea on Reddit, right? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where Paul Dano's character he's like a Reddit legend in the movie.
I never watched it.
It's pretty good. I liked it. Sebastian Stan plays the Robin Hood guy, Banner, which you might like.
Oh, nice.
There's a Warner Brothers Discovery Tower in the background. It's kind of so like they're even willing to be a little bit in on the joke, or at least in the background of the joke.
Brian, as someone who doesn't like Will Ferrell, how did you find his performance in this movie?
It was small enough. It was just above a cameo, so it was fine. And I think I've learned that's how I like my Will Ferrell, in small doses as a supporting role, not a main role or even a supporting role. Just he's in it. He can be his crazy self for 5-10 minutes, and that's it.
Of course, he is turned up to 11, which is the thing. If it doesn't work for you at that energy level, then you're gonna be turned off.
Going back a little bit, he referenced this is just like Skipper at Key West. If I'm not mistaken, Skipper is Barbie's little sister.
Oh, Barbie has a sister?
Barbie has a little sister. Yes.
Oh,
interesting.
The more you
but
know.
you have to, if I'm not mistaken, you have to know the cartoons that are very prominent on Netflix to know that. I
didn't even know there was like Barbie cartoons for all of them.
Are they like 3D animation?
Yeah, they're like I would say kind of like Boss Baby. Like gotcha. that style, yeah.
I like that like these girls aren't like, okay, who paid you like to come do this? Or like it's LA, like clearly.
Like so this woman can just walk onto our campus.
Yeah. Just Jeff, you work out of school. You're a teacher. Like, wouldn't you guys be shut down if this happened?
Yeah, we don't have outdoor lunch, which probably mitigates a lot of this. Someone can't just like walk up to the kids, like, "Hey, what's up?" Just came off the streets of LA. Big gulps, huh?
See you later.
Very inconspicuous with the all pink as well.
She'll blend in.
Yeah. Honestly, though, like with the way that some high school kids dress these days. Like, are you 15 or are you 35? I can't tell.
Dude, all they wear are sweatpants. It's ridiculous.
Is that Josh Giddey on the pod?
Wow.
He's in the background at a table.
He's like, whoa. Sorry, I had to.
That was a good one. I think that's going to go over a lot of people's heads, but that was very
good. That's a little bit inside baseball, yeah.
And that one's not going to age well, but that was very
good. Age fine. It's going to age fine. I love you're fascist.
And this is them acknowledging like, yes, look, we fucked up in the past. We understand what we've done. Like, this is us telling ourselves, this is our problem. This is our flaw.
Yeah.
And now the rest of the movie, we're going to try and fix it.
But it's interesting to me because like if you actually do break down Barbie, it is a fun, outside of this movie and beforehand, I think a lot of people would be like, well, Barbie's a stereotypical, like, perfect woman, big boobs, blonde hair,
no
whatever.
vagina.
No, like, and then it's really funny though, like, but what is Mattel trying to do with Barbie? But they also like do have a bunch of Barbies, different careers and things like that. So it's like, it's almost feminist and anti-feminist at the same time. Like, Barbie can be whatever you want it to be. So you can insult Barbie if you wanted to, and you can credit Barbie if you want to as a powerful doll. So it's a really good question before the movie came by, and I love that the movie addresses it.
Well, yeah, and I think it does the same thing for Ken. Like, it really does play both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the people that like, I don't want to say it's like not political, because it definitely has like a message, but I also think it does do a pretty good job of trying to present like the counter argument to what it's saying too. At least I didn't take it as, I know like a lot of men and I don't think they're necessarily like way off base, but they did kind of feel like it is a little bit men bashing at times. There is that one speech like kind of towards the end. I can't remember. I think it's America Ferrer's character who gives it, where it's like a little bit holier than now, and I'm like, all right, you're kind of losing me here. But for the most part, like Ken realizes now that he's in the real world, he's like, wow, my whole life I've just been like glossed over.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is to be like Barbie Land is the polar opposite of real world, right? Like what the women go through in real world, or what the men go through in Barbie Land. And yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, like obviously we're gonna get a little bit of that as like the men bashing, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, are we bashing anything like real, or kind of like he's talking about here, like, you know, getting these jobs and he's expecting this kind of treatment just because he's a man? It's kind of funny. Like, well,
and then when they do
say?
It's kind of weird because when they do the Mojo Dojo Casa House, like that almost feels like, as opposed to being the antithesis of what we have in the real world, it's just like a sort of like a closer look at like being a man also sucks sometimes. Like if you go out with your friends and I don't know, you show any emotion at all or like
I know
cry, you're considered a fucking pussy. Like, oh well, you should be driving a monster truck and having a 15-inch dick. You can't cry.
But you don't do that.
You can't hug your kid and tell him you love them.
No, it's absolutely. I mean, like, why men have higher suicide rates and all these things is like, it's like obviously women have been through way more than men have, but like men have also, like, we talk about it all the time. My wife and I, I think the three of us and the other guys on the pod, we're rare. Like, you and I will text each other all the time, actually ask how each other's doing, like, open up to each other. Dude, there's a lot of guys who don't have that.
It also helps that we have all known each other for the better part of 20 years.
It has, but dude, I know people who've known each other that long too who don't interact that way.
That's true.
I mean,
how many
bros we're almost worse because they're like, well, they're almost like, well, we've never said we love each other or care about each other, so I can't start now.
No, why start now? Like,
not when I got last in fantasy football.
Yeah, like, how are you? Like, honestly, like, how many guys actually ask that? Like, genuinely speaking, I've always thought, I've told my wife this, like, I'm really lucky to have friends like you guys because, like, I've never felt that way, but I see too many people who are like that.
For sure. This I don't get. Like, you're in a car. If you want to follow them, don't get out and
don't get out of the
them.
car. I know.
Could that sedan?
Could that SUV have been more closer? Damn.
I was about to say, like, get off my ass.
Like, maybe I should add that to my public service announcement. Like, don't tailgate the person in front of you either. Like, pull over for emergency vehicles and travel at a safe distance behind the car in front of you.
I love how as Will Ferrell stands up, he like pushes the guy next to him down.
Just fucking dumps it on her face.
I love. She's like, I'm not used. That's a great line. I'm not used to having anything in that. But yeah, no, Jeff, I love Will Ferrell just casually pushing. I wonder if that was even scripted. Like, Will Ferrell's like,
probably
no, you're
not.
Gonna sit.
He's like, I would not let this guy stand up. Is Will Ferrell? So this is another thing I wonder. I can't remember his character's name, but that's not the actual name of like the CEO of Mattel, is it?
I would have to doubt it, but
I think in the show he's just the CEO of Mattel. I don't think he's like credited with a name.
He's on a rocket ship. But how many different modes of travel do we need to get back home?
I like how he was getting sick in the bag too on the on the boat.
At the at my theater, it's an AMC that I go to. They had like a photo op thing outside, like where you like get your tickets, and one of them was like you could stand in the Barbie box and get your picture taken.
Did you do it?
I actually was going to. The line was just like insane when we were there.
I love this. But
that's like
Mattel making fun of themselves here is great. We had a woman CEO in the 90s for a minute.
It's just all probably true. I haven't looked it up, but it probably is. It's pretty genius. And again, like I know so many of these big like companies who have like, you know, stockholders and investors to care about are so nervous about like any negative like depiction of them in any type of media. But it's just it's so fucking genius that they're willing to be like, yeah, make fun of us, whatever. Like if it's serves the story well and the movie's talked about, like we're willing to be punished down on.
By the way, I love how in that whole rant he goes, and some of my best friends are Jewish. Like, nothing to do with women at all.
I have black friends.
Yeah.
The guy gets in like she's a dog. Like, show her how to do it. She's having the best day. Did it ever say that on the box?
I have to imagine. I love like that's great. The ties. I'm not saying like I need to go for to check my hair is perfect. Something that all men would be like, yeah, absolutely.
Of course you need to do that.
You know what? And probably not a bad idea to just run it once over, you know? The way that they run is hilarious. Will Ferrell has perfected the ridiculous run, I have to say. Like his hands like perfectly flat.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a good high knee as well.
Oh, he always runs. I love that they're all doing the high knees. Why did he? He's like, I love how he realizes. He's like, wait a second, I'm chasing her. It's like, God damn it.
One thing that I think needs to be discussed at length is the Aqua song Barbie Girl. Now, it was used like very briefly in the trailer, like the main trailer at the very end. Are you surprised that it was not, to my knowledge, it's not in the movie and not a part of it?
The end credits scene, it's in the end credits plays, but it's the remake.
I think, I don't know this to be fact. This is all just me making assumptions, but I would think it has something to do with the fact that Lizzo is in it and did some original songs for the movie. Why they omitted it for the most part.
It's literally the end credits, but it's the Nicki Minaj Ice Spice version.
Right, which is not that.
And
I don't recognize that.
Good.
I do not recognize that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember getting at least like the inkling. I can't remember the exact quotes, but I remember getting the feeling that for some reason the Greta Gerwig and the people who made the movie were not fans of the song or like the message.
How are you not a fan of that song?
Wait,
I don't give a fuck what the message is.
Right,
it's amazing.
Of the Aqua one.
The Ice Spice Nicki Minaj is like 10 times more graphic. What are you talking about? Like that's insane.
No, I don't think it's that it was too graphic. I feel like and again, I haven't broken down the lyrics in at least.
We should have an special episode. Break down.
But
next week's chest day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess the Aqua one was like kind of giving like the opposite message that they wanted, where the girl's like, "Objectify me." I made that lyric up, but that might be.
I was like, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that
must be the remix.
It works.
Wait, what? I was like,
objectify me.
I don't think you're far off. That would be hilarious.
Probably not.
I mean, there's a lot of innuendo. Some entendres, maybe a double.
Maybe of the double variety.
Yeah, the double variety.
What do you guys think of the Rhea Perlman decision to cast her?
I love it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think it's fun to have, like, obviously she's not the creator, but like just allude to the creator.
Somebody that represents that.
Yeah. I almost wish that this was Helen Mirren, because then her narrating the movie would almost have like an extra cool.
That's true. I wonder why they
didn't do that.
Helen Mirren's too hot. You put her in there and you're like, oh damn. Give me just that version. Inside that fridge is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, well, the nuclear bomb is about to go off.
Just stop, please. I don't need
Banner,
that.
Banner, I don't know how, but I got signed up for these like surveys that Disney Plus will send me like once a month, and they ask like my
super jealous
stuff that I've watched, and they claim I've been doing them for like 2 years. They claim that like every month they give out like a bunch of $25 Visa gift cards, but I've never got.
There's not a chance in hell.
Didn't think so, but this last one.
Key card.
I love it.
Motherfuck. But this last one they sent me, they asked me about the Indiana Jones franchise, because they said, we noticed you haven't streamed Dial of Destiny yet. And I told them, like, I watched it in theaters. Also, it was fine, but I still have the taste of Crystal Skull in my mouth.
God.
Him just throwing it.
Don't get me started on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
We should do a commentary on some of these movies that we hate.
We should.
Oh, I would. I don't know that I saw that movie in theaters, and I have never watched it again, nor do I think I could sit through it.
Yeah.
When Shia LaBeouf starts swinging through the vines of the forest like a fucking monkey, I just it loses me.
I think I blocked this out. I think we did do a commentary on Last Jedi. I think I just blocked it out because like it was so hard to do.
We did do it. Yeah.
I was like,
it was a dark time for the pod.
Oh,
and
such a
Crystal
dark time.
Skull, what a waste of. Oh god, yeah, that was like a funeral, basically.
I kind of want to go re-listen to our like post review because we all saw like Banner and I were together. I think we did like the 30-minute review of the movie right after.
I think Geiger and Horns, you guys saw it together too, right?
Yes.
Yep. And I think we saw it the same night. Obviously, open.
It was all yeah.
I'll never forget that. Like I was hating the movie and I thought I was alone. And I look at my phone halfway through the movie, and I had gotten a text from Horns, and he's like, "Guys, what the fuck is this movie?" And immediately in my head, I was like, "Thank God!" Like I thought I was crazy. Anyway,
I remember
because even the prequels up to that point in my life, I had never hated a Star Wars movie.
No. Can make fun of a Star Wars movie.
I remember, Cycly, you looked back at me at one point, and you go, "What is this?" It was around the casino scene.
Oh, I was gonna say the casino scene, or when Leia is like floating through space.
Yeah, well, that's early too. When Luke milked
I think it was a
manatee's tit. That's when I was full.
That's when it really starts. But
that would be a good argument. Which sucks more, The Last Jedi or Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Because honestly, I don't know that I can pick.
I think that's a good new pod subject to like compare movies that instead of comparing movies we love, like
when they say directors make like a love letter to either like a certain film or like a franchise, Rian Johnson did the opposite of that with The Last Jedi. He basically made like a scathing like
it was a suicide note.
Well, no, he was like laughing at us for thinking Star Wars was cool. He basically like infiltrated Lucasfilm, got to make his movie, and said, "You guys are fucking losers."
By the way, I love when she does the brake thing and the cars go. It always makes me think of Pineapple Express, where they do that, and then the car stops with them. He's like,
he's like, in the movies they fly right by us. Yeah. In that movie, when he gets the fucking slushy on his windshield and the wipers don't work, it's so fucking late. And his foot is stuck through the windshield. I forgot there's like a decent car chase in this.
Yeah.
This is As a big car chase fan, this is a decent one.
I think these kind of scenes too, Banner, for you are going to hit hard in about 8 years, 5. Like a lot of this, like we can't relate to, but I can understand because we've been on the other side of it. Is like that disconnection as a teenager from your parents.
Yeah.
Where like your parents, you've always been best friends with your kid, and they are obsessed with you, and they look at you as their heroes, and they're getting to they start getting older and look at you like, hey, you're so annoying, you're not cool, like you're embarrassing me, like
I know everything and you don't know anything.
Yeah, like I think that's like
that's why it was so funny right there where America Ferrera like ducks down and they're running from people, but she says to her daughter, "You look so pretty right now." It's like, Mom, shut up.
Yeah. I think that's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, I look back and I'm like, man, I was a jerk.
Oh yeah. Teaching those kids every day, I can definitely
Yeah, you're at the most like you teach those kids in the middle of it, dude. I don't know how you do it.
They're so fucking cool.
That used to be us.
Yeah, what happened?
Dude, I have to say, I don't have they announced Oscar nominations yet?
Not yet. I think it's Tuesday.
If this doesn't get a nom for best costuming, the whole fucking the thing's broken anyway. That's why the Broscars are the real awards. But this has to be like, I don't know usually much about costuming and makeup, but I know they had like a template of the toys to work off of, but translating them to live action is a totally different beast, and they fucking crushed it.
Well, and
they have to get a set design too. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a billion of them, right?
Yeah, and finding ways to like integrate, and I know the story is like nonsensical anyway, but ways to integrate them into the story where it like at least kind of makes sense. First step is always rollerblading.
I don't know the last time I rollerbladed. That was such a thing when we were kids. Like,
dude, that was
going to the skating rink.
Going to the skating rink was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I could never ice skate, but I used to be pretty fucking good on that.
I could never ice skate either.
Could you guys go backwards?
No.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't either.
On rollerblades, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Not like fast, but like when we would play like street hockey. I lived in a cul-de-sac in Seattle, so we could play hockey without having to worry about like cars coming by.
Car.
Yeah.
Car. Yeah.
Game on.
This right here is when everything picks up for me.
Yeah.
Is that our president serving beer?
You
know what? I'd vote for that president.
Yeah, I would.
The cheering squad is the Supreme Court.
Okay, I love this. You guys know that he was John Cena was in the movie because he was filming a movie on the next set.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the only reason he was in it?
It was
he really
Fast
wanted to
X.
be. He's like,
yeah.
He literally was just like found a reason to be in it. Like, just because he was next door, and she was like, all right, like, we got a part for you.
I read he was doing Fast X reshoots on the
that's what it was.
Warner Brothers share
because
a lot.
Yeah, because he was not. So you remember earlier in the movie they did the mermaids coming out of the water and waving, and he wasn't part of that.
Right.
So like the fact that he was in that, like, I think he has one more scene during the Ken scene later, but yeah, he basically just came over from next door and was like, I really want to be in this.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but I kind of want to get your guys' interpretation of this. So it was either the Golden Globes or the Critics' Choice. Is that Nat Wolff, by the way? No, it's not. I thought it was the guy from Hereditary on the left. And I can't remember, was it just called the Ken's song, the big one, the number that they sing later?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I've never looked up the official name.
So that one, like best original song, that is Nat Wolff.
I'm Just Ken is the name of the song.
Okay. What was Gosling's reaction when it won? Like, what do you guys interpret that?
I think
was he pissed that they have to perform it at the Oscars now, or was he like, we shouldn't have won?
He was like, guys, this does not deserve best song.
Okay.
Like, it's a great song, but I don't know if it's like
Kendom Saloon is the best name of a bar, also.
Mm-hmm. This, if you're going to tell me right now this is not going to be the most popular Halloween costume, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I feel like Ken and Barbie, like, throughout the years, is a steady, solid, it's a steady, solid, like, couples costume already.
Yeah.
Like, prior to the movie coming out.
Oh, Kingsley Benadir wearing a belt over sweatpants is incredible too.
There's so much little subtle things in this movie that could easily go unnoticed, but add so much to it, like that, like a belt over some sweatpants.
Executive number 2.
That's a great line. And the least creepy way possible.
You think I spent my whole life in boardrooms because of money? Kind of, yeah. Some brewski beers. We gotta start calling them that.
Well,
my bride wife.
Like, everything that means the same thing, like Mojo Dojo Casa House, like
everything.
Beer.
Everything has
so
to be
great.
Named in a redundant way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just like something like so subtle because it's like what people think sounds fancy. And you're like, actually, that makes you sound really dumb.
Speaking of redundant, did you see they have a foosball table sitting on top of the foosball table?
Yep.
You're a doctor.
And
we need one of those like little paddles that holds a bunch of shots.
Him putting the golf club in his pants like a sword also. It's amazing.
That's just fucking cool, yeah.
He's just holding a beer, a golf club, a volleyball, and boxing gloves.
And that's Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade game that Ken's living on.
I didn't even notice that. That's great.
Now I do want that for my basement.
Century City. There's just a montage of horses in the background.
Yeah, that's one of the great subtle additions again to the, like, if you pay attention to all the other things going on in the background, it's fantastic.
Well, and earlier they had the Mount Rushmore that was horse faces.
Horses. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he wearing like a WWE Ken belt?
Yeah, essentially. I don't know if it's a belt, but like,
or is that his pants?
I think that's his pants.
Just has Ken over the lack of genitals.
Way.
Now I wear 6 watches.
But I do like how it like Jeff, you said this earlier, kind of like makes fun of like what the idea of what it is to be a man, right? Like I have to be into this and this, and it can't be emotional.
Well, that's what's so genius about like the analogous way they flip the real world and Barbie world. So men and women's roles are reversed in each of them, but it also shows like how like in groups we sort of fuck up like what we think we have to do to be accepted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if one of the Kens right now wasn't like hanging out at the Mojo Dojo Casa House lifting weights and drinking brewski beers, they would be a pariah.
It's like,
why has no like brewery come out with a 6-pack of brewski beers?
I have to imagine that like
it's just a missed opportunity.
Is coming down hard on anyone who tries to do that.
Yeah, but also if you're Mattel,
them,
make a deal with them.
Right.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Call it Brewski Beers, have a all pink label, put a big B on the top of it.
It could taste like cow piss, and we would all be drinking one right now.
Look, it could taste worse than Wildcat Ice, and I would still buy it.
Okay, relax.
Pig's Eye. God,
Oh,
those beers we drank in
it's like I
college.
remember one time when we visited you in your college town, we went to a CVS and got, what was the one that was, it was made in the big city near your college town, and it was $2. Big Flats.
Oh God.
Do you remember Big Flats?
I just threw up in my mouth a little.
I don't want to. I remember getting 30 packs. Like when a 30 pack is $12, you're like, this cannot be good. Like this is literally
Thurman and I went to a
50
Walmart in our college town, and they had like a bit, it was like in a Goofy movie when he sees the blue light special on the fisherman bobblehead and he knows he has to go to Lake Destiny, Idaho. There was a Keystone Light 30 pack that was on sale for $11.49.
God. Oh.
Guess if we bought it or not.
You bought it and enjoyed it.
How much was a 30 pack of Lost Lake back in the day?
I think they paid you if you.
I was gonna say like $6.
Those usually were like, yeah, I love this call, like to all the supplies. No, I think usually all those beers are like $13, $14 because like for a 30 pack, you're like, hey, dude, that's like 50 cents a beer. Like in college, that went, hey, it did the job.
That's like what a bar gets them for at cost.
Yeah. In college,
I hate to
give a shit, man.
No, you don't. I hate to keep jumping ahead, but I want to ask you guys your opinion on this because when we get to it, we might be like talk about something else. So there's a few like breaking the fourth wall moments, but one of them that I thought was really, really risky because calling attention to it is like sort of self-defeatist. It's when, I don't know if they do it through text or if Helen Mirren says it, but where they say like the irony of casting Margot Robbie in the Barbie role and then having that scene where they talk about how like she's flawed. What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was funny.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I do agree it was a big risk, but I think that they pulled it off flawlessly.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
I think goes into the idea that even these like perfect like women aren't perfect. Like we look at these women as like they're like just idyllic and just like nothing wrong with them, and it like pokes fun at that. And while Margot Robbie looks to us as this like perfect character, is like, dude, of course she has her own flaws and issues.
She's
like
human.
What? Name one mistake she's ever made in her life.
She has like 2 Oreos
besides Birds of
instead
Prey.
of 1.
Wait, you mean Harley Quinn's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, can we just say real quick, like a 30-second tangent, that I'm going to be 80 years old and it's going to fucking blow my mind that Warner Brothers did that. Released the movie. No one went to see it. So they said, all right, change the literal title of the movie and add Harley Quinn to it while it's in theaters. Maybe then it will help sales. We've all been here. We just give up in life.
I mean, again, but she does it in such a dull way. It's fantastic how she just falls over on her side in 90 degrees. And
pretty sure
this is like
pretty sure I've seen
when your NFL team blows it.
Pretty sure I've seen Horns do that exact thing after about 12 shots in our laundry room.
Yeah.
Hey, why was
that?
Horns
And then when I lose my 4-game parlay in the Banner and I used to go in our laundry room and have like real talk.
Like deep talks.
And did 12 shots in there?
Yeah.
This is this one night that the last time I've ever drank Captain Morgan.
God.
It wasn't like 12 shots over a few hours. It was like 12 shots in like 45 minutes.
Well, I remember one time I was at a party at your guys' place in college, and yeah, Horns, I walked in on you. You were in the bathroom, and I don't think you came out for about 8 hours. Oh, Horns is gone. My bad.
Oh yeah, no, that was that same night. I'm pretty sure.
Was it the same night?
I'm pretty sure it was the same night. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, he was like, "I'm good. I just need to take a shit." And like every 45 minutes, someone would go check on him, and he'd say, "Oh, I just need a wipe." And then another 45 minutes later, he would say the same thing.
Or he's throwing up in between poop. Yeah, he was in a rough place that night.
I would take responsibility because I'm the one that fed him all those shots, but like he was an adult. He wasn't of age, but he was an adult.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he
We've
was
all
doing.
had those nights in college.
And not in college.
Yeah, and still to this day.
Yeah. And
it
last
just takes
week.
much less. Yeah. And when you're snowed in, like right now. Love Alan again here.
I know. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that Dan Levy wouldn't have done great. I think he would have been great, but
no, I don't think he. Yeah, he would have been fine.
The thing is
I don't think it hits the same way.
No, when you see Michael Cera, this is great. Once we can figure out how to build that wall horizontally, Michael Cera, anytime he's in anything, you see Michael Cera, and that's what makes it
exactly. Right. Yeah, like
when Dan you Levy see Dan Levy, like, you still see. I would see Alan, not Dan Levy, which doesn't. It just doesn't play the same.
No, 100%. Like I don't have any problem with Dan Levy. I think he's a great actor. I'm just like, I don't think this would be the same way with him right now. It would not hit as well.
It was
just like Michael Cera doing all this right now is so ridiculously hilarious.
The thing is Michael Cera now is the same Michael Cera from 15 years ago that we saw in Superbad.
Yeah. But like, honestly, have you seen all the gags of like all these actors like acting like they hate him?
Yeah.
It's so funny. They'll be like, leave me alone. Like,
and I'm sure he's like the nicest guy, which is why they all do that. And he plays into it. He has fun with it. Like,
exactly.
I don't think Michael Cera is a great actor by any means.
No.
But in the roles he takes and the roles that he does, he is good in them.
Yeah. No, exactly. He's not as, I mean, obviously in a very different way, like Will Ferrell. Like, he is not meant to be a leading character. He's not meant to be even a supporting character. He's meant to be like this, like, add-on, like, you know, just like he's like the part of the meal that like adds something to it. That without it, yeah, it's still a good meal, but like, oh, that adds a little flair. That was a little fun there, and then a little spice, little smoked paprika, you know.
Ooh. Kendom. It's so great.
I love it. And he's like, I'm never going to get out of here. I didn't know Alan was real. I thought Alan was just like he was like the only non-Barbie character. Like, was he like a human that got stuck in Barbie world or something?
Yeah, no, I'm like 95% sure that he was released with the pregnant Barbie.
That's so funny.
Yeah. That's another thing that we haven't really addressed yet while watching this is they address the fact that like Ken and Barbie are not dating. They are just friends where everybody assumes
he wants to date her.
He wants to date her, right? But like when, as far as in the real world, like when you play with dolls, like Ken and Barbie are boyfriend and girlfriend. Again, they are a perfect couple's Halloween costumes because they're together, but they aren't together and they've never meant to be together as far as the Mattel is concerned.
Well, does it play into like the fact that like, a lot of men. I mean, I can speak to this. Like sometimes, like a woman like pays attention to you, is friendly with you, and then you think that means you're entitled.
No, that means
to
she wants to
something,
fuck you,
right?
That means
Like,
she wants to fuck you.
yeah, and so like a lot of they think that, and women just want to be friends or friendly or whatever in a normal sense. And for Barbie, like she's always seen it like that sense. And Ken is like, well, you pay attention to me, so that means something else is going on. So yeah, that really seems to me allude to that, like that issue that men, I don't know if it's a struggle because it's kind of like on their own, but struggle with.
This is great too, making fun of all the Barbies that didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what's even funnier too? Sorry, go ahead.
Every time they show weird Barbie, her leg is like in a more ridiculous position.
Yeah, this is what we're about to get to, right? Like, when the narrator Helen Mirren says, "Don't cast Margot Robbie," right?
I believe so. Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Okay.
That feels like something that might have been added so late in the process.
It's so
like, dude,
funny,
we can't have her deliver this line in earnest and at least not call it that we're a little bit aware of it.
No, because you can't have that. Like,
otherwise, you're turning to the person next to you in the theater, like, really?
I mean, we've all had our wives who I know we find unbelievable beautiful. I'm sure say the same thing, that like you're like, no, you are, like, no matter what, like, same how we feel sometimes. You just want to be validated and feel like you're important. And I think that move, again, a silly movie like this, I don't know, sometimes these silly movies do a better job of hitting the truth than these like more serious films think they're doing, because those can be too over the top and too on the face.
Well, and I think that a movie like this, they're not trying to push that message across. It just naturally happens. Whereas a lot of these
more
like
impactful that way.
Oscar bait, pretentious movie, they go into making the movie with the point of proving a point.
Well, I'll say this, like bad timing in my mind for us to make that point, because this actual monologue by America Ferrera does feel like the one time that the movie is just beating us over the head with the message as opposed to like delivering it through either examples or in more subtle ways. Like this is just her straight up saying.
100%. I mean, it's easier for me to say, like, both my wife and I work in corporate America, and I very much find the way we both look at things so differently intriguing, because I'm like, well, just do this. And she doesn't see it that way. She doesn't feel like she can do things that way. She'll tell me something like, oh, I've never thought about it like that. Like, we just, it's crazy how like we fundamentally see and feel differently. Obviously we do different roles, but I don't know, Banner, you and your wife working for the same company, like I do see that women are treated differently. 100%.
100%. I mean, in our company, we are in the engineering industry, and it is very traditionally been very male dominated. But here in the last 5-10 years, there's been a large push where females are entering the workforce, especially with the push with STEM in middle school and high school. There's been a large.
You're welcome.
There's a large, like, I don't want to say resurgence because it wasn't a resurgence, but a large push where there's a lot more females in the industry now, and it's really changing the culture of the industry for the better, 100%. But there's still that older stigma of like these women have to work a lot harder to get the same respect that a man coming into the industry needs to do.
Director's note: not only do I not teach STEM, I'm not responsible for any of the progress females have made.
Hey,
you're welcome nonetheless.
Like that, Jeff. You are making a difference.
I am.
You are so
You're
important.
Kenough.
You are.
I can't get over weird Barbie is just constantly stretching her legs. Like we get it. Your leg is contorted weird. Why?
She has no choice. She's controlled by her.
The best part about that if you go up to my daughter's Barbie house that she has up in the game room, she probably has 7 Barbies of different varieties. I would say 3 of them, their legs are like that.
That's so
on
funny.
Any given time.
Of course they would be.
Yeah, dude. I like with my. You remember how like the GI Joe action figures were set up, where like their legs were they could literally do like even more than the splits, like their toes could like almost touch their fingertips. I would just store them like that, like doing the splits.
Yeah, of course. Like I had a bunch of like Power Rangers and like Star Wars action figures, and they were always like their heads were backwards 96% of the time.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. Like I loved when I was a kid. I had all those toys, but I put them all in the same world, right? Like as a kid, I
Yeah,
had my Power Rangers toys, like Legos, whatever, and I called them the people, and they just all coexisted. And I was
did
like, hey,
did your Power Rangers have a big beef with the Ninja Turtles? Huge rivalry at my house.
oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Huge
that you said
rivalry.
that. Yeah, kind of like because they were like you'd have them fight.
Yeah, you have two teams that would fight, but every once in a while they would team up.
Oh my gosh.
I will say I did always
great or
struggle with
good.
who my Power Rangers were gonna fight.
Alan trying to get over the fence.
Let me just stack this chair here.
Power Rangers, Jeff, they can fight anyone and themselves. It's just like you just put them in a scenario.
But maybe someone at home is probably going to start screaming at their wherever they're listening to this podcast at. But like so I know that Ninja Turtles sold the villains. Like I think either Bebop or Rocksteady.
I know.
But
I had
Power Rangers. Well, yeah, but Power Rangers they didn't sell like I didn't have a Rita Repulsa. I didn't even have like Lord Zed. Did they sell the villain toys?
I don't know about that. Now I can't.
Did you have Goldar?
Yes, I did have Goldar.
I think I had
no,
Goldar.
I did have Goldar.
Damn it! I would have loved Goldar.
I had Goldar, and I had his sword, and I lost the sword under my kitchen table, and I was so upset because the way the kitchen table was designed, I could never get it again.
What kind of kitchen table did you have growing up?
It was a glass one, and I put it in between the glass panels, so like they would have had to take the whole table apart.
So wait, you could see the sword the entire time?
And the entire time from my childhood, I saw the sword. It was staring at me.
That's amazing.
But I couldn't get it. And I remember when they finally got a new,
That's
like,
frustrating.
I was like a teenager, like when they finally like got a new like dining room table, and I remember finally getting the sword. I was like, you know how long I've been waiting for this moment. But I was too old.
Please tell me you still have the sword somewhere.
I know my parents gave away.
His parents
don't
throw his stuff away. They have it somewhere. Yeah.
No, they don't. No, my dad gave away all of the toys, and me and my sister are still pissed at him.
Oh, wow.
He donated the people.
Yeah. Sorry, this was a few seconds ago, but the scene where Kingsley Ben-Adir is watching Scarface, and the Barbie goes, "Can you start the movie over and just talk through the whole thing?"
Yeah, Godfather. That was awesome. Taking the glasses off too is so good. Again, I love all these like, I don't know, everything is so good. It's just a fun movie, man. Like I don't think this movie has any right being as good. I don't know if a year before when we were like, oh, there's a Barbie movie coming out. There's no way any of us anticipated something like this, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea what this was going to be. And now Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, who wrote the script and actually are married. Noah Baumbach does really interesting movies, like Banner or Cycle. Did you guys see White Noise? That one with her and Adam Driver.
Super weird.
So
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Noah Baumbach did that. He also did Marriage Story, which I really, really like.
Marriage Story is amazing. I love that one.
That one's like
White Noise. White
Noise.
Noise. I couldn't. It was a little too out there for
me. It was weird. Yeah, and like it in the third act, it's like a totally different movie. Yeah. And,
yes.
But when I saw they were attached, I was like, all right, this is gonna. I had no idea it was gonna be this good, but I was like, this is not just gonna be like making fun of Barbie. I feel like they might have a bigger plan for it.
With this success, and we know Warner Brothers just how they just love to make sequels just to get money. Do you think we'll get a Barbie 2?
I mean, I won't be shocked if we do, but like,
I don't know how, but
I don't think the creative team behind it will do it.
I think Warner Brothers,
Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either. Not unless they give them literally $1 gajillion.
I mean, maybe I'm naive here, but I'm like, I don't even know if it would be about the money for them at this point. It's like this movie had a point to show, and like, I don't think they feel like they would need to like.
There's no more story to tell.
I was gonna say, like, what would you do? Like,
what would you do?
You were asked to give up your dreams
for freedom. Freedom costs a bucko five.
Bucko five. I probably say that like once a week out of context. There's a hefty fucking fee.
Horns, is there ever like quotes or things that you say in class and your students just don't get it and you're like, oh, that hurts?
Okay.
So Cycly will like this. I don't know how many times I say electric boogaloo. So we're talking about the War of Eight. We're talking about the War of. That's just a cyclism that I picked up. We're talking about the War of 1812 right now, which is basically the United States versus England in a rematch of the American Revolution. Yeah. And I always joke with them about like whoever named this war, like really not creative, right? They just picked the year it was fought. They could have called it American Revolution 2 Electric Boogaloo. And none of the kids laugh at it. But I've said it like multiple times. I'm glad you're at least
trying to give some culture to the kids.
I always joke with them too. I'm like, when do you guys think the War of 1812 started? And they love to be sarcastic. Like, 1936. I was like, close.
One off,
yeah. By the way, can I give the song choice?
Oh, this is incredible.
This is great. Push. I wanna push you around. Like, actually, when you really break down the lyrics, you're like, it's quite fucked up, Matchbox 20.
And I gotta say, the time that this song came out, like this and the whole Third Eye Blind album, I was at a point in music where literally whatever the lyric was, it could have been like, I'm gonna blow up the Pentagon, but if it was catchy, I would have just sang it at the top of my lungs.
Oh yeah.
I was literally thinking that exact same thing the other day. I don't remember what song I was listening to, but it was the first time in my life that I was like, I used to sing this in like 7th grade. No idea what it's about. Now that I know what it's about, I should not have been listening to this in 7th grade.
Like some Eminem lyrics, I would just be like shouting them out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know that.
I should probably know what I'm saying, but it's catchy.
Like what? It was. I
love this.
I can't remember what song it was now.
I thought it's the same song. She's like, that's a beautiful song. I was just playing that for you.
The whole playing guitar and staring at their eyes and forcing them to listen is so on point too, though.
Oh,
yeah. How many times have we seen
douchebag by a campfire with a guitar is like a stereotype.
Anytime anyone brought out the guitar in the situation, I'm like, God fucking damn it, dude.
The only this is coming from somebody that owns a ukulele. The only thing that's worse is if they brought out a ukulele instead of a guitar.
Oh yeah. Him bringing drums to the beach, like 17-piece drum set. Let me just set this up real quick.
Could you imagine?
You got to get there 4 hours early.
It's not level enough over here for the cymbals. Can we go over there? Guys, we should get houses like this where there's no walls. We can just talk to each other on our balconies.
We're old enough now that
that's
there's
called
no
college.
reason for us not to. Yeah.
Cycly actually kind of has this.
You guys just need to move into the...
Yeah.
Cycly, your house has the weirdest basement. Like... walls or lack thereof.
Your daughter enjoyed it for hide and seek.
Dude, it was fucking awesome for hide and seek.
What's
funny
porch,
is we're actually...
I was gonna say your porch downstairs is basically like an awesome balcony just on the first floor.
We are about to do construction starting on the house in a week, and we're uniting the house so that basement wall stuff will be gone.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're converting the stairwell. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
You'll have to send me pics of that.
Oh yeah, it should take 2 weeks, but it'll be good.
Oh, that's not bad. Only 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now that's not including all the weather that you guys have been getting.
And say, that's cute.
I'm wondering if they're going to be delayed. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like surely they've got to be with that weather.
So, guys, is this the best scene in the movie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think when we did our review, you and I were fighting over best scene for this one.
Yeah,
the lyrics are incredible. Him saying it's my destiny to live and die. Like, well, yeah.
The weapons they use, like, it's just phenomenal. And I actually genuinely, I know, like, the whole, like, Or as you just referenced it, like Gosling being upset about the song winning, but like it's a good song.
It's incredible.
It's a good pop song. I get why he's probably like, oh, I don't think it deserves accolades, but
and the scene coming up where they're like on like the all white like stage basically dance fighting,
dance off, yeah.
I do have to bring up, not to like poo-poo on the parade, there is a Horns fun fact I have here that I think this is total bullshit, and I hate when people involved with movies say things like this about this song. Maybe you'll disagree, but composer Mark Ronson wrote the song I'm Just Ken largely as a joke and recorded a demo for Greta Gerwig, not seriously expecting it to be included on the soundtrack. However, she liked the song, and when she shared it with Gosling, he felt so strongly that it added to the character of Ken, he advocated for it to be made into a musical number. Fucking bullshit. You don't write a song like this as a joke in the
Barbie. A lot of like
shut the fuck up, dude.
Way too much energy put into writing it as a joke.
This is the like what's the fucking word? Like the inflection point of the movie, basically. It's
there are probably 3 people in this world that is going to understand this. 2 of them are on this pod, but to write a song as a joke is Vince Vincible. Okay. Yes. Vince is his name. He's a normal guy.
When he gets sick, there's a chance he could die.
That's the epitome of a joke song. This is I'm gonna go out there.
Song, but it's good.
But like, ha, we're not really gonna put that in the movie. I didn't think, and then Greta loved it so much. Shut the fuck up. You wrote this as like the culmination of the whole film.
Yeah. So good.
About over the top it is.
Here it is.
It is the best part.
This is the best part.
And this was the day on set that I would have just Simu Liu just I couldn't look at him and not crack up.
He just has this shit-eating grin on his face the entire time.
Yeah. Like he is more comfortable with himself. 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Shang-Chi versus Ken.
It's like again watching this in theater. I wish I could do it again. Like how the vibes of the theater were so strong. Like
when this came up, I don't know about you guys, but like you could feel everybody just wanted to get up and start dancing.
Yeah, yeah. So good.
Like this just aesthetically looks fucking cool too.
Oh yeah,
like, this is like an iconic shot.
Yeah,
100%.
The choreography for this, which I'm starting to learn a little bit more, the more Baby Banner gets into dance, but. Like choreography is difficult to make look good. This is amazing as far as a dance number.
One person slightly fucks up. It's like dominoes. Everything just gets thrown off.
This can be a gimmick, but the movie dominates in set design and choreography and cinematography. Like it, as stupid and silly as the movie is, like there's a lot of heart in it. And like they took it the perfect amount of seriousness, right? Like, they could have played it so many different ways, and nailed it.
There is nothing about this movie that is not a swing for the fences, and so I'm sure there are people who watch this, and not many people. But
I was going to say,
who would be interested enough to get to this point, but they watch this movie and they just roll their fucking eyes. But it is like, as likely would say, as far as like an Oscar consideration, dude, there is no other movie out there this year, to my knowledge, that like tried this hard to do something that had not been seen visually before. Like,
I agree.
By the way, I love to say the put your manly hand in mine. Like, that's a great one.
That is a great one.
That was today, wasn't it?
Damn it, they are changing the Constitution at 4.
Now, I agree. I think that if this doesn't at least get a nom for set design as well as costumes,
it has to, right?
It's got to, right?
Yeah, I'll be shocked if it doesn't get like I feel like this movie gets 5 nominations.
5.
I
really?
also don't know. Again, the Oscars, the problem with it, and like the reason 6 years ago we started the Oscars was it became like, number one, the people voting on the actual like Academy are like all like 90-year-old white men. So it's like, yeah, you're not really representing anyone who goes to the movies now. And then also it got to the point where it was like, if you had heard of the movie, it like couldn't even be considered for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, also there's
when the artist won, Cycling and I were like, I'm out. Sorry, Cycling.
Well, no, you're exactly right. Like, there's also a thing about like they're either holier than thou, so that's why they vote for like a movie like The Artist, or like it's clearly rigged that like the studio that pays the most like is gonna get it. Like that's why they always said like Leo didn't win Oscars, was like they never like he was never intent on like giving them money to get the nomination. Or
Well, Kevin Feige kind of joked about this. Like the only time a Marvel movie got nominated was when they put all their marketing budget into getting Black Panther nominated. So it was literally like we basically bought it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, the Oscars are literally bought half the time. It's a couple things. Hollywood honoring themselves, so they love movies about Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
It's movies that like make them holier than thou, like The Artist, or it's like whatever they're bought for.
When The Artist won, it was literally a black and white silent French film. I was like, I can't anymore. I just can't.
I think that was the all-time low. I will say I think it's gotten a little bit better since then.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't think we're anywhere near what actually represents what the common public thinks.
Right.
I think
I'm not saying there isn't well made, but like when I watch an awards show, like dude, that is so fucking stuffy that I can't breathe when movies like that are all that we talk about.
And that's not even to say like the fact that it was a foreign film as well. Like Roma,
because I loved Parasite. I was all about
loved
that.
Parasite, loved Roma. Both of those I thought deserved everything that they got. So it's not even to say that like, oh, it has to be a blockbuster tentpole film that gets nominated. Like you can have these
not accessible.
Right. It's just not accessible.
It's not something anyone can watch and be like, okay, yeah, that's something that I would be into.
Like there's got to be some sort of award show that is, hey, everybody go to this website. Every movie is on the table for every category. What do you think?
Minus the every movie, that's basically the Oscars, right? Plugging ourselves.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys remember they came up with, this was like 5 years ago now, I think, but they had announced that there was going to be a popular film category, which was basically going to be, did they scrap that though?
No, I think this is a year for the first time or something.
It is. I didn't know if it was one of those awards that like they announced to please people, but then it ends up being one that they announced like over commercial break, we gave out this award.
But that's so stupid too. It's like, okay, so whatever movie got the best box office, like that's such a dumb
Is that what
award.
it is, or is it just like a movie that was like considered more commercially viable than?
I don't know what
the criteria would be.
What's the criteria of this film? Technically, shouldn't it go to the movie that won and got the best? Like, most people to see it. I don't know. That's such a
because they have to be careful because if they make the criteria like, well, it's the movie that was the most publicly marketed for their audiences, then they're basically admitting that like for Best Picture and all the other ones, they don't want it to be a film many people saw.
I will always say like film is subjective, like our appreciation of it. I don't think it's
my opinion is the only correct one.
Right, that is true. Now, like the Grammys, I have much less respect for because music is much more subjective. Like, absolutely. Like, you cannot tell me that, like, this is the best album. Okay, well, like, music literally feels different to everyone. So, like at least with movies, you can be like, hey, that cinematography, the acting, the writing, the style is good. We can disagree on impact, on emotion, on what that movie brought to the table, like things like that. Like, I don't think the Oscars... I don't fault the Oscars as much as other award ceremonies, but it definitely has its flaws. But like I still don't hate it. I still think it's a fun thing to enjoy.
Oh, and shit like Chris Rock getting slapped in the middle of it happens all the time too. So like it's entertaining to watch even if you disagree with the results.
Nothing was worse when Anne Hathaway and what's his name hosted. My God,
James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah. James Franco could have been not anywhere else in the world. I felt so bad for Anne Hathaway.
He just mailed it in.
I don't even. Yeah, he was like didn't even give a shit.
Why do it then, dude? Like you're not doing like we don't want you that fucking bad.
Yeah. Honestly, if they make a sequel of this film, I'd be upset. Like, this is one of those films that you need to look back and be like, no, it was a one-off and it was awesome. Like,
it was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Let's
let it for what it was.
I think a lot of more people saw it opening weekend as well because of the phenomenon of Barbenheimer, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no way we can do this until I love the idea that whenever I die, I hope there's an afterlife because I want to see like statistics. I want to see
Your life
like
stats,
yeah, life stats. But I want to know what would have happened to Barbie and Oppenheimer. I think both movies would have done well, but I really am curious. Like Barbie hitting $1 billion, Oppenheimer hitting what, like 500 million for a biopic. Like, do they do as well on their own? I don't know that they do.
I don't
I'm
know
not
that
saying
they
they're.
do.
I don't know that they suffer. I think both movies would be successful, but I think both movies lose like maybe 100, 200 million.
Well, I wonder too, like them being counter programming, if that helped, because like the one example that again they always play it off as it's like well, if it works we'll say it was in earnest, if not we'll say it was a joke. But the Saw Patrol, which was like the second attempt at this
I think
year,
it was Reddit like just being a thing. Like,
So that was so dumb.
but that's hilarious.
So funny,
but like
let's say like
I don't, if I'm just thinking of this because these are two, they didn't come out anywhere near each other, but like if Mean Girls and Barbie tried to do this same thing, would it be as popular? You could make both arguments to me.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you do have to have opposite movies, but again, like as much as like the Saw Patrol, like you need opposite movies, but not such extreme opposite movies. Like one's a child movie and one is a torture movie. Like no one is doing both of those. So
one is a torture movie and the other one is Saw.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine?
It has to be a movie that you can see a double feature with. You're not going to go and see a Paw Patrol movie and a Saw movie in a double feature. That's the biggest thing that has to correlate to make this work. Now I think
because one semi-comedy and one drama, not like you can't. Yeah, go ahead, Banner. Sorry.
I was just going to say I think that it I don't remember what I was going to say.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, I remember because before it came out, you had the Barbenheimer hype behind it. I think opening weekend, you get more people to go to these movies because it's like, oh, that's a fun idea. Let's go do that.
Right.
Whereas, hey, Barbie's coming out this weekend. Oh, cool. I'll wait till it comes on streaming.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I would have. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would have seen Oppenheimer probably in theater. I don't know that I would have seen Barbie in theater.
Yeah. I mean, you got to see a Nolan movie in theaters.
Yep.
Right. It's meant to be like that.
But this one, I can't remember if I saw it opening weekend or not, but either way, word of mouth would have got me out to the theater to see this. But again, how much of that word of mouth is part of the Barbenheimer phenomenon?
90% of it. Because the word of mouth had already gotten around before it was released.
It's so true. Will Ferrell's character is like, we're not going to make ordinary Barbie. The guy behind him goes, it will make money. He goes, well, we love the idea. Let's literally crap in a box and sell it if you told me that it would add to the bottom line. This is an ignorant question, but again, why would I fucking care or know this? Are Rhea Perlman and Danny DeVito still married? I'm assuming they are. They're not?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because saw the only reason I'm saying this is because I saw a tweet about like during the Emmys last week when It's Always Sunny, like they were making jokes at themselves after 15 years, like finally getting a nomination. Like Danny DeVito said, even my ex-wife has two.
God.
Because she has
the chemistry they have in
Cheers.
Matilda.
Yeah. I think they were like, because I think she got her Emmys from Cheers, and he got them from Taxi. And so that was a whole joke. I mean, the article I saw was like ex-wife, but I could be wrong. But they clearly have a good relationship because if they're not married, when Danny DeVito made that joke, they showed her and she was like cracking up.
The way they're waving.
Yeah.
I want that hoodie that Ken's wearing.
I looked it up the second I left the theater. It was sold out for like 4 months.
Damn it. Well, now you guys know what to get me for Flag Day.
Another flag?
Please. Also, that Malibu like jersey that they all had, we should rock those. At Bro4 Squad weekend, we should all get those. So it's like,
oh my God.
Party.
Get them custom with their names on the back.
Dude, that'd be sick.
You can now get. I mean, I remember looking at theaters because it was opening weekend. The I Am Kenough, but now it's like anyone sells it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's this YouTube channel that I watch, and they always come out with like T-shirts and merchandise that's like really tangentially related to like an IP without saying the name. Like they'll have like a Secret Invasion, like the silhouette of a scroll on a T-shirt, and it's like, well, like, does Marvel own that silhouette?
Right.
You know, it's like, where
Yeah.
And usually with these, like they're like the reason they always say like only for a limited time because they're like, well, when we sell, I don't know, 200 of them, then Marvel sends us a cease and desist and we stop.
Yeah, like exactly. we know how to work the system.
Marvel's like, you can make like $500 off this, but then we're gonna fucking swoop in. One thing I have to say with this script, the hardest part, I mean, well, not the hardest part because there's a lot of like smart things put in this, but like, how do you end this movie? Like, where do you leave Barbie? Is
that's true.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Like everything goes back to normal.
Right.
Like,
can she stay in Barbie land? There's a lot of flaws with that decision on her part if she does. But yeah, the sequel, like, would you want to see her? Because we already did the fish out of water thing. Like her being in the real world dealing with stuff. I don't know. That just seems like a good SNL skit, but I don't think it's a.
Yeah, who's that movie for again? Like,
right.
Yeah.
This is the one thing Hollywood does 1,000 times, and that's like so frustrating. Like, no, like just let something be. You know, like you don't need to add to it.
Well, yeah, that's why I posed the question. Yeah, money, and then what episode did we just do? 216. If you guys go back and listen to that, this year 2024 is like the year of the sequel, right? There's 80 million sequels and prequel that are coming out this year. So with that being said, that it's so common, would a movie that's so successful like this get a sequel?
I won't be
shocked.
That's
why Cycling and I are. Yeah. That's why Cycling and I simp so hard for M. Night, because at least he's like doing original things.
Or would they do a prequel where stereotypical Barbie is the only one in Barbie land and slowly all these other Barbies come?
That to me sounds like there's a better idea than a sequel. At least it doesn't sound like a great idea, but it's a better idea.
So this scene, by the way, is so emotional. Like, I don't have kids, but damn it. Like, this whole part, I don't know, Banner, how you felt watching this scene for the first time. Like, this little montage we get here in a second. Like, again, how can you do something like this on a silly movie and then, like, just rip our hearts out?
That's why it's so well done.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing when you make like a movie like this where you want to dip your toe in a couple different genres. Not only genres, but like this actually does have an important message to give, which is an added layer of complexity that could really have it just kind of collapse under itself.
Yeah.
Like you can get whiplash if a movie does this poorly, where it's like, all right, well, we were dance fighting a second ago but it works.
Now we have a montage of moms and daughters and just life happening in front of you.
You know what I was wondering with something like this, like where
daughter in this scene? Like, I mean, God.
Where did they get those clips from? Like, there's like, hey, people send in.
We had that conversation. We were thinking, do you think it was just people on the staff?
Probably, right?
Probably, yeah.
Like, hey, everyone, find some home movies and bring them to Greta.
Because like, who wouldn't want their home movie like in Barbie for a second? That would be so
that's cool. Yeah,
even uncredited, like that's even almost better, right?
Yeah.
No, I need royalties for the rest of my life. It's the only way I'm giving you this 2-second clip of my birthday.
And the studio is like, okay, well, we'll go to 1,000 other people who will do this for free. So sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like they would respect me having no leverage but still playing hardball with them.
Yeah,
that's the Broforce Squad way, right?
Our motto.
Like, do you know how to negotiate? No, I do not.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I personally thought this ending was hilarious. I don't know what you guys thought.
Like, I don't know if I thought it was hilarious, but it worked for me.
Because I don't know, like, to your point, how do you end this movie? I thought it was a great.
Right. That's
I think this was the
Yeah,
best
well,
way that you could end this.
Yeah.
You have all the places for her to work. This was a pretty good choice.
She's so happy about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but this Barbie Aqua version is so piss poor. Like, I like Nicki Minaj just fine. Like, I like Ice Spice.
I don't.
Okay, well that's fine. I'm just saying this version sucks.
You don't? Wow, that surprises me.
Am I you think I would like Nicki Minaj?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
She
I like
sucks.
Nah, I like Nicki.
She won't even play her best song anymore at concerts. Starships. She said she is refusing to play it now.
I can imagine if you sing that song enough to be like so sick of it, you don't want to play it anymore.
Oh, like her discography is so deep. Like she's just gonna sing Anaconda constantly, which isn't even based on her original music.
It's not even about a real anaconda, Jeff.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Like, wait a second. This is not scientifically accurate at all about this snake.
And in pure Broforce Squad fashion, we have derailed. Perfect timing, though, as the credits are rolling.
We're not done about this Nicki Minaj conversation, guys.
All right. Tune in for episode 217, Chest Day, Nicki Minaj on Trial by Broforce Squad. Let's go to Ken Cycly. Any last thoughts on Barbie?
No, I just got to give props to Greta for pulling this out because this movie could have gone so many different ways, like we talked about with not just the Amy Schumer Gal Gadot thing. Like it has been, she just did it perfectly. It played everything subtly enough, the humor, the emotion, the drama, the subtlety, the set design, everything was just like touched on perfectly. This is a film that's gonna like not just last for what it did in 2023, but like I think we're gonna look back on for a long time and just appreciate as what film and entertainment should be.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this movie is extremely rewatchable. This is actually the third time that I've watched it. We saw it in theaters, and then we watched it a couple weeks ago when it first dropped on streaming, and then now the commentary. And I think that's also what makes a great movie. Not only what is it done well, but this is going to be a timeless movie. I think I'd set it off the top, instant classic. Ken Horns, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think what's so fun about this is it's like it could have been just a dumb comedy about like a toy that has, led to and played into stereotypes for a long time. But there's like so many different layers to it. You can get as little as you want out of it or as much as you want out of it. And I think it works. And I will say the one nice thing it does with all the genres and the ideas that it has is it gets it right up and toes the line right to where it's getting maybe like a little too self-important or like sort of beating you over the head with it. And then it sort of pulls the reins back and will either change genres on you or have a little bit of levity. So in that case, it's hard to do, but I think it walks that tightrope really well. And again, it's just a really unique idea. Like I can honestly say, and I watched some weird fucking shit. I haven't seen anything at all like Barbie, at least in like the last 10 or 15 years. So for that in and of itself, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
And another thing too, or one last thing, that when you think of Barbie, everybody immediately goes to, little girls playing with their dolls. We are three grown-ass men that just watched this movie together, and I had a fucking blast. And I would probably watch this on my own, or if it came on TNT, I would watch through at least 2 or 3 commercials.
But not CBS, though.
No, absolutely not CBS.
Fuck CBS.
All right, guys. We have been the Broforce Squad podcast. You guys can check all of our stuff out at our website, www.broforcesquad.com. We post everything there. Hit subscribe wherever you're listening. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, whatever you're listening to. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, we're on Amazon, right?
Hell yeah.
We're on Amazon Music, yes.
Yeah.
Cycly, read a book.
Jesus. Fashion, you heard of it? Hit that subscribe button. For Ken and Ken, I'm Ken. We will see you guys in Barbie Land next time.
Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Y'all
So that
bring
just
over the
translates
food
to
vault.
house.
Yes.
House cubed.
I love the